Check, check, check.
Say something into it.
Okay, this is a test. Now we have the dirty details. We treat everything here as a resource if possible. Humans are the only species that generates waste. And wherever possible, we convert waste into asset. Humanure is definitely an asset. It is fertilizer. You just have to handle it properly. This is a sawdust toilet. It's a very simple toilet. In fact, it can be deployed anywhere very easily. You bring everything that you need for the toilet with you, easily transported.
Arguably, the seat is a luxury.
This is a luxury. You don't even have to have that. You just need a hole.
Yeah.
I designed this box so that this lid seals it fairly well. You can defecate into here out of sawdust. This is sawdust mixed with biochar, ground biochar. You start by creating the human manure. When it gets full enough that you have to empty the bucket, you simply take the bucket out and carry it over to this location here. So this is a work in progress, and that is finished human manure. So this has been going out to the garden and the orchard. Periodically, you add to a kiddie pool until it's full. So I know that last place I put it was here, so I'm going to go at about 6 o'clock. First you scrape away the straw, and then you dig a little hole. And once you get a hole so you can bury it, just dump it in. And you notice that there's red worms in here, and they're doing a lot of the work of decomposing the waste, and then cover it again with the straw.
Cool.
And that's it.
Did the worms invite themselves, or did you?
Yeah. The worms are, I don't know how they get around, but they do. And then you got this bucket that's got nothing in it, and you could add sawdust to it. And you just want a little bit on the bottom. If that's not enough, I've got a barrel of this kind of sawdust. And then you also want to add a touch of this finely ground biochar, and then mix it up a little bit. It's ready for use.
Cool.
Another aspect of turning waste into resource is compost. This is probably much more basic than human manure for people. We have 2 receptacles for food scraps. One goes to the compost bin, and one goes to the worms. And this is the stuff that the worms don't like. It's the heavy pieces of cabbage, the onion skins, and the avocado shells, and the limes, and everything else that is either too fibrous or too spicy for worms' taste. What the worms like goes into this. It says it's coffee grounds, oatmeal, tea leaves, rotting fruit, rotting vegetables, any condition.
Any condition.
You know, and so when that reaches a point where you have to deal with it, it goes to the worm bin. That's the next stop. This is the worm bin, and it lives indoors because worms like it 50 degrees to 80 degrees, ideally. And that's pretty much how we like it. So it lives indoors in a place where we don't have to see it or smell it all the time. Ideally, it doesn't smell if you're doing it right. So here are the worms in their native habitat. They just live inside of here and consume all of the waste that I throw at them, but they are in here, as you can see, and happily eating and reproducing. And when they're done with this, it will be this crumbly brown material. It's too rich to just use straight, so you dilute it with soil. It's excellent fertilizer. We're gonna go down to the rotating bin in the orchard. So this is an electric fence. It's here to protect the orchard from bears that will come in when the fruit is ripe and not only take all the fruit, but wreck the tree. Knowing that I wanted an orchard, I fenced this in and added the electric. And once we had the electric fence here, it was the sensible place to put the compost bin for stuff that the worms don't like. This is a rotating bin that makes it pretty easy to have compost because you can rotate it just by rotating the drum. So inside, you've got partially decomposed material that we put in before. You can keep adding to it until it's full. And then when you close it and turn it, it mixes it. It's protected from the bears. It's farther along in the direction we want it to go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, another form of resource that we generate in the cabin is wastewater. We direct it to the orchard where it supplies water and nutrients to the tree. Picks up water from the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and the washing machine, and the shower, and it all goes into a pipe that drains out through the crawl space, onto the ground, and across the road to the pond, which we call the pond road, into the orchard. The line from the house is right here. It's coming into a splitter that splits the water in half and sends the water in two directions. So 50% is running over to this apple tree, and 50% goes this way, and from here, it goes to another splitter, so it divides again. So a quarter of the water goes to this mulch basin, a quarter goes this way and continues on to two other mulch basins that each get 1/8 of the total water. These are mulch basins. The idea is to have the water emerge from the end of the pipe into mulch that is shielded from above, so there's no odor and there's a lot of material to absorb and even distribute the water that's coming out. And because it's usually high carbon mulch, you've got a good balance of nutrients to carbon. So this lucky persimmon tree is getting a full quarter of the water. The apple, the largest tree in the orchard behind you, is getting half of all the gray water, which I think it deserves. And down here, there's a line running underground to this point where there's another one of these splitters. Splitter valves are kind of cool. They have a little clean out plug here that allows you to remove anything that gets trapped. Yeah, okay, be back soon.